Central banks around the world adopt modern technologies to provide financial inclusion by design and develop resilient financial markets infrastructure and financial service innovator. There's a 10-year at the IBM in corporate finance and treasury and software business development attached to that name. He's also a public speaker and mentor to women entrepreneurs. We also have Mr. Christopher Kersey, CEO of Mara Films, leadership positions in multinational technology companies including Nokia, BlackBerry, Samsung and Lenovo. Focus on expanding the business of Mara Films and Mara Pride around the world. Still on this panel is Zoma Dozie, Managing Director, Sparkle Nigeria, an experienced financial advisor, economist, technologist, and entrepreneur. He is the last Group Managing Director of Diamond Bank before the merger in Nigeria and runs a Lagos-based angel investment and mentorship platform. Black Knight has been named at the heart of Nigeria's tech startup ecosystem, founding the Tech First event in 2018, connecting industry giants to new markets and providing access to market opportunities for small businesses. He's curated and hosted tech-focused TV shows, Tech Talks, where he interviews Nigeria's leading entrepreneurs and digital pioneers. And now, our moderator, Ifeanyi Ndonwezi, who is the Chief Operating Officer, TechPoint Africa. He is the COO of TechPoint Africa, a pioneering tech digital company, amplifying the best innovation out of Africa through its publication, data, and events. He's a key part of the Nigeria tech space, writing and contributing to its development. Wow, so many good things. We can't wait to see what you bring on board. Mr. Moderator, I hand over to you.
Can hear me. Thank you so much. So I will just be going into the first question of the day, and I hope my panelists can hear me. So I will be directing my first question to Muzamil. So can you just quickly tell us? We know technology is have brought a lot of and we can see that of acceptance. But you know, what can be done to let those in the rural areas about technology?
I love to sing. La 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 la. And that's just straight up
Hello, Uzoma Dozie. We read a lot about technology and how it's changing Africa. But can you tell us a little bit about we read a lot about technology and how it's changing Africa basically. But can you tell us a little bit about how technology can educate individuals around the valley?
It's simple. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Well, it's simple. I mean, the two use cases that comes to mind. I mean, the first one is when I was in Diamond Bank, and we wanted to take banking to market women. And for us to do that, we were already doing informal finances, but in terms of consistency, we thought that there was a better way of taking back into them. They didn't have time or understood what banking was inaccessible for many factors. And basically for us to we couldn't just go there into the marketplace like Spain and say, this is the best solution for you. We had to find, leadership in the marketplace, and that those leadership in the marketplace, let's call them advocates, and people that they were comfortable with, and people that actually understood the opportunity of technology, and then then we have to take a three-step approach. In one, educating the advocate as to how this transformative way that it will help them see, it will help them actually get much better, right? And then they actually also them and holding us and taking them to the marketplace and showing them what the benefit will be. That was one thing to do. It's a longer way, but once you get engagement, it is very, very sticky, and it actually spreads like wildfire. People actually advocate for that process. That was one. And the second one is going to be, extreme situations like COVID and the lockdown. In fact, more particularly the lockdown. I mean, and that is where you move from. I mean, like three stages. I like to think that there are three stages opposed to being digital. One is awareness. Using awareness, people know about digital or about technology. And a lot of people are aware, and not many. The ones that are aware, just okay, I know about it, but they're stuck away. Then you have the next thing, which is appreciation. They've seen what digital can do, how it can cut costs, how it can create more transparency, how it can actually allow you to scale and come up with new public information. That only happened because we had to lockdown to who were actually forced to change. And then that's what then after that is the adoption. Adoption now actually increases, and that's because people have seen, first of all, you need multiple channels of operation of access to your customers, multiple channels of access to your suppliers, and the only way to do that is at least adopting technology. If you want to receive money from loved ones, during the lockdown, there was no opportunity to move cash from urban to rural areas. So if you were one of those only accepted cash and didn't have any mood to receive, then you were stuck. So education should, based on that, I would say you have to look at infrastructure. Three things. You have to look at infrastructure in a different paradigm shift. So as government, infrastructure is not just about putting the digital access in place, but also equipping people with devices so they can be connected That is only one way, because the guy that can't afford to eat is not going to buy a device. But you actually need him so you can provide him with social benefits, you can connect him, and then he can be included into society. The second one is sometimes situations help education. And and so like the lockdown was one of them. And the third, I think the one that is going to be constant is advocacy. You must find people to help handhold people and educate them. So in product development, you're going to have to ensure that there's an education part. And education comes in many ways, depending on the context. If you're in the north of Nigeria, it's going to be different than the south or the west of Nigeria. So you have to be aware of the market in which you are actually trying to provide leverage technology to meet objectives.
All right, thank you so much, Uzoma. That was really insightful. Creating awareness has a lot of branches, like you said. Knowing the market, knowing what infrastructure would enable you to communicate the right message. That was really insightful. Thank you so much, very much. So I'm going to be asking Kamel Cadet my next question. I hope she can hear me.
I can hear you.
All right, great. Yeah, I can. All right, so now we're talking about the infrastructure for the next that generation, and then we'll talk about internet costs. In Africa, internet costs is extremely expensive. Only America, spend more than Africa in kind of data consumption. So what can be done to ensure that the price of internet is affordable for us in Africa?
Yes, so thank you for having me. I think the conversation around infrastructure is very important, because although we look at a lot of the benefits that technology can bring, alone, the app that you have in your hand is only good as the internet connection that you have, or the access that it can bring you and how connected it is to the country that you can have something that's usable, that makes life easier instead of picking up and having to go to something in person. So using technology to not only showcase the business problems and the life problems on a day-to-day basis that it can solve, that is going to drive really how do you think about the ecosystem and the value chain that is needed to support that application. And I think the investment aspect of it, although it takes a lot of headlines around these software applications and the new app and the new fintechs that we see, and everybody can download the app and really feel it. I think you're also seeing more and more people talking about the underlying infrastructure that's needed and how we can invest in that too. So you talk about data specifically, but Africa has a very interesting story around mobile technology and how and what it was able to leapfrog with mobile technology, even before data was available, right on USSD technology and telecommunication technology instead of internet that we see in data, and that now that we're seeing with the smartphones that more and more people are getting into, but there is a lot of investment that you see in USSD technology because it can provide offline transactions, it can make things available in rural areas, it can you see mobile money kind of really taking off as a technology. You never think of infrastructure as part of the technology stack, but it's actually pretty critical, and telecommunication networks are critical pieces of enabling technology in the future. So I think more investment, I think access when it comes to lowering the costs, the same way we see in early stages of innovation. Some resources are more expensive at the beginning, and until you get really to a scale that you get adoption, that's when you can really lower the cost. So Africa, one thing that it has going among many things is volume, is people, it's usage, and the market opportunity that can come from usage to lower costs and how expensive that infrastructure can be. I think you're going to see that happen over the many years as more use cases come to market.
All right, thank you so very much. That was quite insightful. You talked about usage towards the end, and I think that's really very important in creating a sort of like sustainability for how data usage should sort of like the approach. All right, thank you so much. I'm going to be asking Mr. Chris Kosi my next question, and my next question is around we've talked around infrastructure, we've talked around data challenges. So now let's go into a little bit of how technology companies can support companies to make this happen. So we've seen that the provision of support technology companies without helping in setting up technology infrastructure, right? But for you, what form of support should be provided for these companies to enable this this development? What kind of support in particular can enable this the conversation that we're having right now?
No, definitely. Thank you for having me and for the question. And based on what Uzoma and Kamal also said, everything is about scale and building up scale around the ability for consumers to get more technology. We are a manufacturing company. We manufacture hardware in Africa. We manufacture mobile phones in Rwanda and South Africa, and we are projecting and promoting the Made in Africa concept to build this concept of not only having products made in a country for that country, but potentially for export to other parts of the world, less Europe, etc. And what's happened over the past couple of years with all the situation with the trade wars between countries like China and the US, and many countries in many places around the world are looking for other types of options and other manufacturing sites. So manufacturing sites have moved from certain places in Asia to places like India, to Vietnam, and to a lot of Asia or APAC countries. What our goal is really to move that also into Africa. But to do that, the support that we do need to make this happen, and this is the support that we have gotten, is, yes, at some point from local institutions, from governments, the whole ability to trade across the African continent with MESA countries, and really building up a support system to help manufacture within a certain country and export to other countries. We are now making phones in Rwanda, we're now making phones in South Africa, and the only way that we've gotten here is really with the local support of the countries, the government, of the ministry, the ability to have interactions with opportunities of making hardware and selling hardware to the education sector. What happened with, as the other people mentioned, with COVID, the education sector has exploded, tablets business has exploded. What's happened, unfortunately, is that this has given a lot of opportunities for importation of products from other countries, Asia, etc. So the support would be, if we are able, if a company is able to make sure that they give the right type of quality, the right type of price, the right type of service, the right type of software, the right ability to service a local country and or a country around them, then yes, we do need a little bit of support and a little bit of a push to be able to service this type of opportunity and build up the business. So we rely on the right types of negotiations with local governments, with education sectors, supports from the banks when we are having to work on export deals to the US or to other places in the world. We cannot do this without the support of the local government/community to take a locally manufactured product, especially a technology product, and build up. At the end of the day, technology, the strongest technology sector in hardware is when you are strong in your own backyard. After you're strong in your own backyard, you can export to other places. So the goal is really give us the support.
Thank you so much.
Give a company the support in your own backyard to make sure that you establish yourself as a strong competitor in the market, and then that allows you also to be able to go to other markets.
Right. Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are listening to you or will end up listening to you, and then I just understand, realize that the more we realize that it's a collective effort. From policymakers to the companies, and then to the consumers of technology programs. So as long as we understand that it's a collective effort, that support, that's something that you really emphasize. Build your backyard, and then you can become anywhere. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to be asking Mr. Mamo my next question, and this is around data privacy and data colonization, right? So we've seen a lot of concerns and controversies around these areas, like particularly with increase in technology, right? People have suggested data center as a way to curb data breach and colonization. But in your own experience and in your own opinion, what other measures or what are key measures that you think should be put in place to uphold data privacy, policies, in Africa particularly?
Thank you for the invitation. I was expecting this was an academic, so because I joined the academic world. But let me just say a few things before answering your question. First, let's know that in the ancient time, in the ancient Egypt, when Africa was, ancient Egypt was called Africa. There was the genius of geniuses called Imhotep. You will not believe, an African. On astronomy, on medicine, on mathematics, on the sciences, on language, on calendar, on almost every sphere of knowledge. Extraordinary knowledge has been created in Africa, and that knowledge has not been, lost. Actually, it has been going on. Now, the interesting question now is that for whatever reason, Africa has lost the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third industrial revolution. Now, we are in what is called the fourth and fifth industrial revolution, where we have the information and communication technology, right? All right? Transformational technology era has come, computational systems have come, networks and sensors have come, artificial intelligence have come, robotics, biotechnologies, synthetic biology, bioinformatics, 3D printing, blockchain, human-machine interface, machines acting like humans, humans acting like machines, biomedical engineering and regenerative medicine, more computing power, speed, sensing, communication, conversation with machines, and new interhuman relations and tolerance and justice and mischief. All these things are happening now. Now you ask me an interesting question. In this time we are in now, it is very possible that this digital technology can change our agriculture. Our agriculture can become digital agriculture. On the service area, on the manufacturing industrial area, we could use it very effectively. No, there's no problem. But the interesting question now is the regulation side. In other words, how do you make sure that when you use this technology, you don't also create challenges? All right? All the problems we used to have when we do the physical activities, right? Profits, goods, consuming, and so on. Is there any chance also when we consume digitally, we also create cyber warfare, cyber crime, many of the cyber malwarfare? All right, many strange things can happen. Now we have to manage this now. The most interesting thing now is the governance, the regulation side of this digital management side is extremely critical and important. What you may end up doing, or people may end up doing, again, taking advantage and not being able to actually use it. Now, the interesting question now is with this technology, Africa may still be at the bottom of the technology totem pole. It may be like that. If we are not able to actually understand and use this technology to completely transform the well-being of all the people. But how we manage this is very interesting. Is there any chance now we had human governance with corruption? Is there any chance we can use internet governance to also change it? If we do that, is it possible also to manage our industry, our agriculture, all the things we do in our activities? Is there any chance that Africa should not lose the fourth and fifth industrial revolution? But the key way that we could do it is by managing, as you like to put it, the digital technology, the data, all this have to be managed very properly. We don't get them have a challenge. That's my initial idea for you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. That was really insightful. I like how you took us through, how the rich history of Africa when it comes to technology, and over time we've lost that. But I believe that, like you said, the revolution was that opportunity to also now, climb back up to where we used to. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to come back to you, Uzoma Dozie, and I know you have a lot of experience in the financial sector and a lot of, speculating a lot of things around that, the financial space, fintech as well. So for me, I'm going to be asking you this question. One of the biggest challenges in technology in Africa is lack of funds. So you want to build sophisticated technology and you want to maintain them, it requires funding, right? We see that the government in Africa, across many African countries over the years has, been overwhelmed by the burden of funding technology. But we know that the government cannot even do this alone, right? Even if they were to. So how then can we ensure sustainable funding of the growth and development of technology in Africa?
That's a very interesting question. You know, I mean, I think in the end it boils down to priorities. What is your priority? And how I mean, like, as the public sector, your priority is to create a maybe environment, social and economic, social development and economic prosperity. And it means looking at the things that can help you get there. And as we all know, technology is an enabler. And if technology is an enabler, then I think it is responsibility of government, for the leadership to realize that how do we leverage technology to provide, to scale education, to scale production, to scale security as well, because technology is to do all these things. So we must put it at top of priority. And when you think about how much am I going to spend on defense or security, or how much am I going to spend on technology, because technology will enable security, it will enable education, it will reduce the cost and allow you to scale, increase transparency, and also increase innovation in which the private sector will actually come in. And even to that at the government level, but at the business level as well, it is. We all have stakeholders, and for us, it is prioritizing what we need to spend on, right? I need to spend on my value chain. My value chain is people who are paying me cash instead of money. How do I invest resources in education to do that? So what I'm saying now is like there needs to be a paradigm shift in all segments, right? I'm right down to the individual to say I have to invest in yourself. I think the world has gone beyond just looking for people to like help you. You actually need to actually invest in yourself, because it is very, very competitive. The technology enables you to start businesses without the competition is very, 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 very right. So to survive, you actually need to invest in oneself, but it requires public and private sector collaboration. There will always be limited resources, and so it is up to the leadership to say, okay, where do we want to go to? How do we want to go? What's the best way to scale resources, to provide social benefits to those who don't have, to include people, right, and to enable electronic, and that is technology. I think technology is the key. What do we need to invest in, and what do we need to sacrifice? And so if we need to utilize the government, if we need to, reduce what we give to defenses, because really and truly, the war is no longer outside.
Then to